Hey everybody, forgive the crappy camera work. Let me turn my camera this way so I can stand over this way. I thought I would get on here this afternoon and talk to you guys real quick before going over my main channel and doing a deep dive into what happened today. Derek Chauvin, the police officer who killed George Floyd, has been found guilty on all counts. So hopefully he'll be in jail for a long, long time, longer than 40 years, because I don't care if you don't agree with the verdict. A black man was killed in broad daylight in front of very few people. And the stupid cop had the knee on the neck of a black man for 9.5 minutes. His defense team tried to claim that Mr. Chauvin had health problems. Nothing like that was found in the autopsy. Derek Chauvin held his knee on the neck of a black man for 9.5 minutes. And he didn't get off of that person even when EMTs arrived.
Understanding great testimonies coming from witnesses, then we understand
Go to hell.
Time for justice to be celebrated. We're celebrating.
Chauvin is not an innocent man.
There are a lot of adorable kiddos. They're gone now, but just a few minutes ago, they
Sorry, but racism has no place in this country.
What is it like when you look at the young kids?
You don't like it? Fuck you.
Taking apart and soaking in history.
Being overwhelmed by the news.
Let's see here. Let me turn that off.
And for our young people to see that.
But go to 10tv.com and you'll get all the information. Go to WBNS 10TV. You can look it up on the internet. I'm not going to do it for you. And those who want Derek Chauvin free, fuck you. You are the problem with this country. You know? Derek Chauvin knew what he did was wrong. I'm not going to praise him for that. I'm not going to do nothing for that asshole. He killed a black man in broad daylight. You know, and I wonder what's going to happen to the Chinese guy that helped facilitate that. Tell me about that. What about the Chinese guy that was helping to facilitate that guy's murder? You know, and there was an EMT standing by, but they wouldn't let her get near him to help him. So, rather than risk going to jail, she stood there helplessly while a black man died in the hands of custody of the police. Not fair, right? It's about time that people that were killing each other find some justice in this planet, because many black people are starting to feel hunted and threatened and persecuted. Not just the black community. Let's talk about the Chinese community. All because of the color of their skin, they're being targeted. George Floyd's killer has been brought to justice, and I hope he gets hurt real bad in prison. Don't drop the soap, a lot of people say. But I want to say, may somebody put that bar of soap up the guy's ass so far he'll be spitting out bubbles for the rest of his life. They shove a bar of soap up his ass every day for the rest of his natural-born life. Because if it was the black people persecuting the whites, I think you'd understand where they were coming from. The constant fear of being targeted, all because they're black. You know, and I think about Trayvon Martin and how justice was sorely not carried out. And the guy who killed him thinks he's above the law and has multiple run-in with the cops. And you know, too many killers of innocent people get away with a lot of shit. And they still get back out on the street no matter what the fuck they do. But Derek Chauvin did a very bad thing. He's a disgrace to the badge. And a lot of people are happy, including one of my friends on Facebook who my friend says his ass was immediately taken away as a convicted felon. Amen. You know, and my friend that I just read a post about is a black man. You know, and somebody posted on the video or on his page earlier saying, don't jump too high. You know, this is white America we're talking about here. And I piped in. I said, hey, I want that cop in jail as much as you do. And I said, besides, who in the hell leaves their knee on the neck of a black man for 9.5 minutes? You don't see that done to a white person. You don't see a white person being thrown in the back of a paddy wagon, suffering a broken back and possibly dying. And you know what? I don't give a fuck if the haters hate this video. Justice was served today, and I'm glad. I'm glad. And a young conservative tried to say there won't be justice until Mr. Chauvin is free. But you know what? I say, fuck that, and fuck you, and your mama too. Racism has no place in this country. And it's got to stop. Seeing George Floyd laying on the ground. I watched some of the trial. I wasn't going to watch the defense side of it because you know it's all bullshit. They're paid to defend a slime ball. They're paid to defend a slime ball that had no soul in his eyes. He just basically knelt on the neck of a man for 9.5 minutes, showing no remorse, no consequence for what he'd done. So the guy passed a fake bill. So he had some pills on him. Is that a reason to kill him? No. No. You know, and if he's claustrophobic, I believe that he's claustrophobic. And he didn't run. You know, they took him to the paddy wagon. Next thing you know, he's being hauled out of that paddy wagon, hurled onto the ground, and the guy puts his knee on the neck of a guy for 9.5 minutes. And he's saying, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Hopefully, police officers will be trained differently. And if you have any racial stereotypes in your makeup, then you're not fit to be a cop because you are honored to take the badge to protect and serve. Not just because, you know, you can't take the badge and protect your race and outsource others to somebody else, or you go against that and you think, oh, it's just another Chinese dead. It's just another black man dead. You have to protect and serve everybody. You know, there's always something called the right to due process. George Floyd didn't get his due process. And people are, you know, and there are people on the internet already screaming he didn't get a fair trial. Bullshit. He got a fair trial. That video spoke volumes. And even as he tried to turn his body so he could get air into his system, wasn't enough. It's like squeezing a balloon and cutting off all the air and not being able to exhale. The guy died because he suffocated to death. Shouldn't happen to anybody. But if the shoe were on the other foot, how would you feel? If your brother and sister were on the receiving end of something like that. I have a lot of black friends, and I worry about them. And it's just sad that there are people out there that want a idiot like Chauvin free, even when you know he killed a man. And what's worse is his fellow cop helped facilitate that murder. He could have said, yo, man, you're taking it too far. Get your knee off of him. You know, and like some of the bystanders says, you're a punk, bro. You're a bitch, bro. Keep your neck off the, keep your knee off the neck of this guy. And people were so happy. They were honking their horns and sharing in the celebration that George Floyd's killer has finally been brought to justice. What is there to defend? And here's what I said on 10 TV. Good. Put that monster in prison forever. I have never seen a cop hold their knee on the neck of someone for more than 9 minutes. Then Derek comes along. And I'm glad that his killer is going to get his just desserts. And there's a live coverage that I'm getting ready to play here from CBS News. I'm sure it'll be on YouTube, but I'll go ahead and pull this up. Come on.
To justice. We pursued justice wherever it led. When I became the lead prosecutor for the case, I asked for time and patience to review the facts, gather evidence, and prosecute for the murder of George Floyd to the fullest extent the law allowed. I want to thank the community for giving us that time and allowing us to do our work. That long, hard, painstaking work has culminated today. I would not call today.
I'm going to go ahead and share it with you so you guys can watch it later. I'm sure it'll be up on YouTube. Go to CBS News. And you can watch all the latest things that throw down because there's nothing to defend here. There really is nothing to defend here. He didn't look distracted to me. He looked cold, he looked calloused, and he looked like he wasn't even there. Like he wasn't human. And George Floyd was saying, man, get off me. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Mama, mama. That is the most sad thing I've ever seen. If you are going to be a cop, you have to protect and serve all races, all creeds, whoever lives here in this country. You need to serve and protect. When things go wrong, you're there to help, not kill. Especially when it comes to matters of the innocent. Trayvon Martin is another case that should have gotten justice. But the prick who killed him still thinks he's above the law. And a lot of things have gone terribly wrong in this country, and for far too long, too many innocent people have been killed by cops. And it really stinks. George Floyd has had justice served today. And yes, there are people saying, now the appeals begin. But there's really nothing to defend here. George Floyd had his airway cut off for 9.5 minutes. If that was you or me, the whole world would be up in arms. But to some people on the internet, some people in the age of the internet still think, good, it's just another black man dead. But to me, justice came today when they locked up that piece of shit that killed him. You are a disgrace to the badge, Mr. Chauvin. You are disgusting. There's no reason to kill a guy because he may have passed a phony bill or had some pills on him. You take him into jail and you let the courts decide. You're not a bounty hunter out to kill for your next trophy. Your video that witnesses have shot is your trophy. It shows, gee, I'm an asshole. I disgraced my badge. I disgraced the role of being a police officer. And you should put on your head, piece of shit, because that's what you are. Derek Chauvin, the piece of shit. There you have it. I'm going to go over to my main channel here in just a minute and talk about this over there. But for any white supremacists, you're not welcome here. Any killers of black people or targets on any nationality that are being hurt by police force, I have no sympathy for you. White supremacy has no place in the world. It doesn't. Once you learn, you have to learn how to get along. If you don't, you go to your own island. That is all I'm going to tell you. But George Floyd suffered for 9.5 minutes. You know, and people are still hoping that Mr. Chauvin would get off. He did the crime. Now he must do the time. Talk to you later. I'm going over to my #1 channel, and I'm going to be talking over there. And no, there'll be no commentary, so white supremacists are not allowed. Good night, everybody. Have a great rest of your week. And I'll get back on maybe this weekend and talk.